All right, Chismosas, it's official. Me and Target, we got beef.
Since Target is scaling back their DEI policies, I thought I would remind everyone what they tried to do with Beyoncé, but she's always 2 steps ahead of them.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel where we break down the stories that are shaping conversations online. Today we are diving into the recent controversy surrounding Target's announcement to scale back its diversity, equality and inclusion or DEI initiative and how this ties into their decision regarding Beyoncé. You don't want to miss this, so let's get into it.
Tabitha Brown. Come on, we need somebody to speak up. What? Target. We black women, African Americans, are y'all biggest supporters. Like, really? I told y'all 2025 things was gonna intensify, things was gonna get crazy, because this is crazy.
You know, I had already decided to do a no buy this year. And I have to say that all of the companies rolling back their DEI programs are making that extremely easy for me. Because newsflash, I don't have to shop where I'm not welcomed. I don't have to shop where I wouldn't be hired or a person who looks like me wouldn't be hired. When your priorities move out of alignment with my values, so will my dollars. And yeah, it's frustrating and disappointing to watch these companies who have made public and private commitments to their consumers, to their employers, to their shareholders about how they wanted to create spaces and products that were reflective of what America looks like. And overnight they just changed that, which tells me they were never truly invested in creating that type of world. They were appearing to the public pressure. Despite the fact that all the data tells us that when you do good by your employees, when you do good by your consumers and the planet, you actually increase your bottom line. You end up making more money. You end up building a loyal fan base and consumer base. You create a space where your employees want to do more and show up better. So these companies are shooting themselves in the foot. And no, shopping elsewhere will not be the most easiest and convenient thing to do, but I'm a Virgo. My petty runs deep. And if a company is not showing up for me and my community, they're not getting my money, plain and simple.
I dead don't care for this anyways, because Target been a sellout. My people, my black people, we are going to Walmart. We're migrating to Walmart. We're staying at Walmart. We're not shopping no more at Target. Even though I know some of y'all still going to be shopping at Target because y'all don't really support anything. But we going to be at Walmart. Like, Target wasn't hiring people anyways. Like, y'all should have been knew what was up. They wasn't hiring a lot of black people anyway, so y'all should have been knew it was like sus with Target. Like,
Since Target is scaling back their DEI policies, I thought I would remind everyone what they tried to do with Beyoncé, but she's always 2 steps ahead of them. So in 2013, after Beyoncé released her self-titled album, Target refused to sell it because they were upset that she had sold it exclusively online at first. And they were like, we don't want to put it in our stores. We're not going to make any money off of this. But the clever girl Beyoncé is, she struck up a deal with Starbucks and started selling her album there, which, as we know, there's a Starbucks in almost every Target. As the petty queen she is, she struck up a deal with Walmart, started selling her album there, and then went to Walmart and bought the album herself. She brought her whole crew. It was a huge deal. So it's been screw Target, and shout out to Mama Tina.
All right, Chismosas, it's official. Me and Target, we got beef because Target just came out and announced that they're scaling back their diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives. And out of every company in the world, this is one of the last ones I would have expected to do this because you guys know every Pride, these MFs are out there with their rainbow flags and just like their whole section for Pride. Every Black History Month, they have their section. Every month for Hispanic Heritage Month, every time there's something, they're involved, right? They're wanting to make a buck. So now this doesn't make sense. The math is not mathing. And look what they had to say about their new initiative. Many years of data, insights, listening, and learning have been shaping this next chapter in our strategy. And as a retailer that serves millions of consumers every day, we understand the importance of staying in step with the evolving external landscape now and in the future. Okay. Now, I don't personally understand why they didn't make this more simple for everybody who's reading this. They're just bowing down to what the government wants them to do, and they don't want any smoke from them, so they're not going to push back. That's essentially what they're saying here. But you know what? You do you, Target. I'm going to go and run over to Costco and get what I need because you're done. You're done. It's over. That being said, Chismosas, I'm very curious to know what you guys think about all of this. Let me know your opinions down below in the comments. And don't forget to like and follow for more gossip, chisme, and all things tea.
As a poor, I unintentionally boycott a lot of things that do not include the bare necessities. So I see y'all and I support y'all. And I will continue to not give my money that I don't have to these companies.
So 2 days ago, I went on a little Target shopping spree getting stuff to organize my house. The day after, they announced that they're rolling back their DEI policies and practices. So come with me to return all the shit I bought. We're here. All done. Bye-bye, Target.
I don't know where y'all from or what y'all talking about, but my girl ain't left our Target. She's very much still here. Ain't no way.
Target ends their DEI policy. Let's talk about it. So Target just announced that they're ending their DEI policy, and all I can say is I'm still going to shop there. Everybody's talking about they done with Target. They're not going to shop there. But what about Walmart? What about Amazon? What about TJ Maxx? What about Lowe's? What about Home Depot? What about Kohl's? What about all these other stores that ended their DEI policies? What are y'all going to do? It's crazy because Walmart actually ended theirs 2 months ago, and y'all asses still walk up in there shopping all up through there. Me personally, I feel like it's so much other things, serious things right now that's happening that we need to worry about. I mean, I'm just being honest. These jobs that we work at discriminate every day, but we still got to work there. These apartments and houses and all of it is owned by these people. They discriminate, and we still have to live there. Hell, our president is the biggest one, and we still have to live in this country. Let's be for real.
So let's talk about Target rolling back their DEI program. I actually have had some personal experience with them. In 2013, I boycotted them because they didn't carry plus sizes. Their aisles weren't made for everyone, even though they're a big box store and probably had the capabilities more than anybody else. So I had the boycott, wrote an open letter. It went viral. They called me the next day and actually became a brand ambassador for them for a year. They grew, they expanded their offerings, brought inclusivity to the racks, and celebrated bodies of all sizes and shapes. And they showed the world that it could embrace like inclusive politics, not just in fashion, but also like in like you think about the Black History Month, where like a lot of designers and whatnot are brought in during that time. And full circle, y'all know I had the CurvyCon, so year 5, Target was on our runway, and so they also supported us in that way. But now it feels like they're undoing all of that progress. Rolling back DEI programs is a dangerous shift, a choice that aligns with politics focused on exclusion rather than inclusion. Target isn't just the company I believed in. This isn't the company that celebrated diversity and inclusion as a core value. It feels like you've forgotten who you are. We deserve better from companies we invest in. Target, it's time to step up, or we won't be, as a collective, shopping in your stores. Again, if you believe that inclusion isn't optional, share this. Let's hold Target and every other corporation accountable by not shopping in their stores.
Okay, so I know you saw the news about Target, okay?
Everyone's like, oh my God, my favorite retail store. So one of the things I want us to think about though, Marissa, who did Retail While Black and Target While Black on Instagram, made a great point tonight that I want to share with you. She charged us with being more targeted in our shopping. One of the things that she knows this retail space, she's been talking and working with brands for the last couple years. And one of the things that most people don't realize is that the brands, when they're in a store, they are responsible for moving that product in the store. So if a brand, Black-owned brand has, inventory in Target and it doesn't sell, that Black-owned brand is basically their chargeback. They are responsible for the cost of not selling that product. So yes, we want to boycott all these stores, but the list is getting long. And so instead of boycotting them completely, I want us to consider, I'm not saying you have to, but I want us to consider possibly being more targeted in what we buy in those stores. So that means if you live somewhere and you got to go to Walmart, you're buying the Black-owned brand in Walmart. You're buying the small business in Walmart. If we're going to go to Target, that means I'm going to buy my favorite Black-owned brands in Target. As long as they're in these stores, they still need consumer dollars to make sure that their product moves and they are not hit with a bill that is astronomical that could really be detrimental to their bottom line as a business. Because a lot of these businesses in these stores are still small businesses. So that's just something for us to consider. Yes, you can go directly to the website. I do that sometimes. I'll just go directly to a brand's website. But as long as these products, as long as our favorite Black-owned brands are in these stores, we want to focus on shopping Black and shopping small and consider just being a little bit more targeted in what we buy when we're in those stores. Just food for thought. Let me know what you think in the comments.
When it comes to DEI announcements, we have to listen. I said on live the other day that I would be surprised if organizations such as Ben & Jerry's and Target rolled back their DEI initiative. And I was very shooketh yesterday when I saw the announcements of Target rolling back their DEI as publicized by the media. Are you hearing me? Now today there is an announcement that they are calling it belonging. Stay with me. As this administration continues, we will likely see many organizations backing away from DEI. Some of those were performative. We know who those are. Some of them were not. It led to actual changes in who was represented and how we showed up for the Black community in those spaces. Do you hear me? In these cases, the protection of the actual work of DEI can happen by changing the name. So we have to look at actions, not the name. Do you hear me? Because if we can expect executive orders, at some point we can actually expect legislation and the rolling back of rights. So if we do not change the name in a way that can be protected from that legislation, okay, then we cannot protect the work. Listen. So while I'm not standing on business right now about Target, I am listening. Please listen and see the actions.
Alright, let's start by laying out the situation. Target, one of the biggest retail giants in the US, has been known for its progressive stance on social issues. Over the past few years, they have actively invested in the diversity, equality, and inclusion initiatives, creating programs and partnerships to uplift marginalized communities. This effort wasn't just surface level, they built a reputation for celebrating LGBTQ+ pride, empowering Black creators, and creating spaces for underrepresented voices. However, all of that seems to be changing. Target recently announced a rollback on its DEL initiatives, reportedly due to backlash and declining sales. This decision feels like a shift in their corporate priorities, and it's sparking a massive debate. At the center of this storm is Beyoncé, a global icon who partnered with Target for exclusive merchandise that celebrated Black culture, empowerment, and creativity. Now, that partnership seems to be coming to an end as well. So, what does this mean for Target, Beyoncé, and the broader conversations around corporate responsibilities? First, let's dig into the rollback on their initiatives. The decision is being framed as a cost-cutting measure, but it's hard to ignore the political undertones here. Over the past few years, companies like Target have found themselves caught in the middle of the so-called culture wars. Conservatives have criticized this initiative, claiming they alienate traditional customers, while progressives argue they have necessary to make up for systemic inequalities. Target, like other brands such as Blumlight and Disney, has faced boycotts from both sides of the aisle, but unlike Disney, which stood its ground, Target seems to be retreating. The company appears to taking a safer, more neutral approach, or at least that is what they think. However, by pulling back, they risk alienating younger socially conscious consumers, many of whom expect corporations to stand for something. The timing of this decision is also noteworthy. The retail sector is struggling with declining sales, supply chain issues, and inflation. Target may see this rollback as a way to appeal to a broader base, but does it really? Let's not forget, when you have built your brand on inclusion and representation, stepping back sends a very clear message. Now let's talk about the Beyoncé angle, because this is where things get even more controversial. Beyoncé's partnership with Target has always been more about than just selling merchandise. It was about celebrating black culture and amplifying representation in spaces where it's often lacking. Beyoncé is not just a musician, she's a cultural force. Her work is deeply tied to themes of empowerment, identity, and resiliency. Ending this partnership, especially in the context of rolling back duel, feels like more than just a business decision. It feels symbolic. Beyoncé's represents at Target wasn't just about clothing racks and sales numbers. It was a statement. It told customers that Target supported and celebrated black excellencies. So, what happens now? By cutting ties with Beyoncé, Target risks more than just losing her fan base. They risk losing credibility. People are already talking about this on social media. Fans are calling it a betrayal, a move that patronizes appealing certain groups over staying true to the values Target once claimed to champion. On platforms like Twitter or X, you will see hashtags like Boy Scout Target gaining traction, with the behaving leading the charge. Let's dive deeper into the public reactions, because this is where the conversation gets even more heated. On one side, you have fans of Beyoncé's and advocates of duel who are outraged. They are calling Target out for caving to pressure and abandoning the communities that have supported their brand for years. One viral tweet summed it up perfectly. Target wouldn't be the company it is today without the support of marginalized communities. Rolling back duel and cutting Beyoncé is a slap in the face. On TikTok, creators are making videos dissecting the situation, urging their followers to think twice before shopping at Target. Some are even sharing alternatives, small businesses and black-owned brands that deserve the support Target is losing. But then there is the other side of the debate. Some people are praising Target for focusing on business, saying corporations shouldn't get involved in politics or social movements. They argue that dual initiatives are deceptive and hurt businesses more than they help. This is really especially popular in conservative circles, where the rollback is being seen as a win against woke-up culture. What is fascinating is that this controversy is less about Beyoncé and more about what she represents. For her fan base, it is a reminder that black culture and representation are often the first to be sacrificed when profits are on the line. For critics of duel, it proves that the pendulum is swinging back to neutrality, or what they call neutrality. But is it really neutral when you are erasing progress? This brings us to the bigger question. What is the role of corporations in social issues? For years, brands have marketed themselves as allies to marginalized groups. They have created pride campaigns, highlighted black creators, and made bold statements about inclusion. But when push comes to shove, how many of them actually stand by those values? Target rollback shows just how fragile these commitments can be. Their initiatives are often treated as branding tools rather than genuine effort to create change. When the backlash starts or when sales dip, they are the first to go. This isn't just a Target problem, it's a corporate American problem. But here's the thing. Younger generations, millennials and Gen Z, hasn't buying it. They want authenticity, not empty promises. They want companies to take risks even if it means losing some customers by rolling back Dwell and dropping Beyoncé. Target is sending a message. Profit come first, and while that might make sense in the short term, it could hurt them in the long run. So where does this leave us? Target might see this as a way to avoid controversy and boost sales, but they are walking a tightrope alienating social conscious consumers, especially those who grew up shopping at Target and believe it is in value, could backfire. As for Beyoncé, she will be fine. She's Beyoncé. But her fans, this situation highlights a bigger issue. The fight for representation and equality is far from over. The question we need to ask isn't just about Target or Beyoncé. It's about what kind of society we want to build. Do we want one where corporations stand for something, even when it's hard, or one when profit always comes first? I will leave it there for now, but I want to hear from you. What do you think about Target's rollback of Dwell and their decision to cut ties with Beyoncé? Drop your thoughts in the comments below and let's keep this conversation going. Thank you for watching, and let's continue this conversation in the comments below. Let us share our thoughts and perspective with one another. Don't forget to like, subscribe and hit that notification bell to stay updated on this story and more. I will see you in the next video.